You've been spied on, treated with disdain. The knife's on your jugular vein. They pissed on your precious family name. Go and do what you do. Yeah, that's how we do. Go and say what you say. Always shooting it straight. Watch the finish line. I got wings of fire. I got wings of fire.
Wings of Fire, Reverent Cavaliers. We thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your music. John Bon Jovial, what do you think?
Oh, I really like that. That was really good. And again, more of the 60s psychedelic influence in that song. And there was a heaviness to it, you know, not a Metallica kind of heaviness, but probably the original metal bands of the 60s. And again, Blue Cheer, The Thugs, Beacon Street Union. And that's the kind of sound I know. That's the kind of sound that these guys are putting out. And I got to tell you, it's nice to hear it again. It really is.
Well, you know, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And what I think puts it over the top is their ability. And Rick is a big part of this because, you know, aside from his wife's suggestions of which is good and which isn't, Rick is doing most of the writing. And I love the way that he's able to get a spiritual message in there without directing to any specific religious group or belief, but he's able to get a spiritualistic message, which does us all good, meshed into this 2021 version of 1960s psychedelic rock with an extra Blue Cheer touch to it. I mean, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Pretty good, yeah.
It's really
pretty good.
It's really a good job, and I'm really impressed with that. And I know our listeners are going to be impressed with our next group because unlike John Bon Jovial, whom I don't let listen to the music until he hears it on the show, I have heard their music, and like I said, you're going to love it. Here are, all the way from Finland, they call themselves Willie and the Goodsouls. This is Future.
You want to know, want to see it. Ain't got my silver
Yeah, I wanted to be sure you caught that trailer there at the end, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Finland. The band that was at times referred to as the Finnish E Street Band, Willie and the Goodsouls. Willie, come on in here and say hello.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome aboard. Great sound you've got there. So glad you could be here with us. I know that it's a rough time of the day. You're probably not usually used to sitting and talking to people in the United States at this time of the morning over there, but we're so glad that you made the sacrifice to come and be with us. How is everything over there in your country?
It's been better, much better. Now people are afraid of new variations.
Yes.
Of the COVID, but doors are opening. People are thinking if they should be closed, if they should be opened. It's like different directions every day.
Yeah, it's a very divisive situation, and we're hearing that from all over the world, not just in our country. And hopefully, somewhere along the line, in the near future, we're going to be able to get back together and get back to being what we are. And I am so glad that you're able to come here. You are the first band from Finland that we've ever had on the show. And we're going to pick your brain a little bit for how the market is over there as compared to the rest of the world. Now, I know that you had just come back from an extensive European tour. Did anything stick out in your mind as you traveled Europe on this tour? Was there any situations or well, that's a good word as any situations that you remember most vividly?
Yeah, there are many. We had this one night in Lithuania, in Alytus. These names are difficult even for Finnish, so bear with me.
No problem. No problem.
There was this night we had. It was people. It was like a full house. We didn't know anybody. That we met them obviously for the first time because we toured there. But they came to see the band, and we were like friends with everybody after 2 hours of rock. You know.
That's doing your job.
Everybody wants to touch you, you know, not in a bad way or anything.
Right.
Just like a tap or hug or something, and that connection is something. It's unbelievable. It's just music. We just played.
Yeah, I agree.
You feel friends.
Absolutely, and it's the international language and the international feeling. And when you get out there and you get that feeling, you've got more than one thing going for you. Of course, you know you've succeeded at what you're doing, but you also know that you are bringing people together as really as no one else can. Music reaches out that you don't have to understand the language or the people. You get to know them through the music, and you become family. John Bon Jovial, I know you'd like to get into this conversation.
Well, yeah. Well, first and foremost, Willie, welcome. It is such a pleasure to have you here with us. I wanted to go back into the past and touch on future a little bit there. Yeah.
You're going to pull a Rod Sterling on us here?
Yeah, right. You've entered. So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about future. I mean, first of all, that is such a bright and positive and happy sound that you have with that song. And to me, it's kind of like rock and roll meets country meets Zydeco, and you pull it off. I didn't know if that type of combination was even possible, but it sounds just wonderful. And I want to know what went into the orchestration of this song, the musical choreography, if you will, of how you put this together, because it's a great sound.
Thank you. I think most of it is just the band. I've played with the drum player for. We had this another band that we played in, and we've played together for 20 or more years, and that's something I don't need to think about what he does, and he doesn't need to think about what I do. So we just like follow each other, you know, and that's what makes it easy for the other guys. The other guys are like newer to us, but still, I think the whole band sounds positive very often, but the future sound or the instrumental is quite like strong there. It's a melodica played by our keyboard player, and that was the producer's idea when I played the main melody to him. He was like, we got to get that out. So there's a violin from our violin player and the melodica.
Well, so you tell your producer that you tell your producer he's right on track with that, because that was
thank you.
This was a sound I did not expect, and I got to tell you, it kind of blew me away listening to it, because as I said to our previous guest, which I'll say to you, which I say probably just to every guest every week, I do not get to hear the music before the show starts, and it's by design because David wants to get a visceral gut reaction from